Okay, in law, public interest generally refers to the well being, welfare, and rights of the general public or a significant segment of it that deserves protection and promotion by government and the legal system. It encompasses a wide range of issues that affect the public at large, justifying government justifying government regulation and legal action. Public interest law specifically focuses on legal work that benefits the public good, often representing those who are marginalized or lack adequate legal representation. Here is a more detailed breakdown. Key aspects of public interest: well being and welfare. This includes health, safety, and overall welfare of the public. Cross reference that with the public interest doctrine or the public trust doctrine, and also the basic obligations of public service. Okay, and not doing this are ethical violations, and this is also mentioned in the rules of professional conduct in the preamble. It's a legal obligations of all lawyers and judges to do what's in the public interest and maintain the public trust, and the public trust is in the public trust doctrine, which basically puts the legal system in the public trust doctrine. Okay, so it's the legal obligations of all lawyers and judges to see that this happens. Okay, justice and fairness, ensuring equitable access to the justice and fair treatment under the law, which is well defined in the rules of professional conduct and the code of judicial conduct. Social justice, advancing causes that promote equal and combat discrimination. Public interest law focus on marginalized group. Public interest law often involves representing individuals or groups who are unrepresented or lack access to legal resources, such as those living in poverty, poor, people with disabilities, and members of minority groups. Examples of public interest issues: these include environmental protection, ensuring clean air and water, which is also in the public trust doctrine. It's a mandate, it's a law in every democracy, not just in the US, but anywhere in the free world. If democracy does exist, then they must abide by the public trust doctrine. They must enforce it. That is law. Okay, so that's in any democracy. You know, anybody that claims they have a constitutional republic, well, they have to abide by the public trust doctrine. Consumer protection, safeguarding consumers from unfair and deceptive practices. Okay, unfair and deceptive practices. Better Business Bureau used to do that. I don't know what's going on there. Or they're supposed to. The FCC, my girl Lena Khan was working on that stuff like that. She was really good at that. Civil rights, protecting against discrimination and promoting equality. This is a mandate. These are laws. This is a mandate. Access to health care, ensuring affordable and accessible health care for all. You know, if they follow the public trust doctrine, the mandates in the public trust doctrine, health care would be universal. You would have Medicare for all. Access to health care, ensuring affordable and accessible health care for all. Ensuring, okay? Now, this is a mandate not just of all lawyers and judges, but any law that is to be made and or enforced. Public interest lawyers, these lawyers work on non-profit organizations, government agencies, and private sectors, you know, such as civil rights divisions, DOJ, FBI. There's a list of civil rights agencies amongst your government agencies. Just type in government agencies that have civil rights divisions, and I think there's 8, maybe more. Examples of public interest laws in action: public defenders providing legal representation to individuals who cannot afford an attorney in criminal cases. But if you read the rules of professional conduct, due process, etc., you'll find you need legal representation in every court you go into, and you cannot afford that. So I always teach people, always put in a fee waiver to waive court costs, court fees, filing expenses, etc. Okay, legal aid organizations offering free low-cost legal services to low-income individuals. Impact litigation, using lawsuits to achieve broad social change and protect public interests. And the public trust doctrine will guide you to much of what's said about what's in the public interest. Government agencies like the Environmental Protection Agencies, EPA, strong requirements in the EPA for in the public trust doctrine, which they seem to think that they serve political interests. No, they are public servants. They serve the public, not a politician, not a political party, and definitely not Wall Street. And Consumer Financial Protection Bureau work to protect the public interest through regulation and enforcement. And if they don't look up their job descriptions on the internet. Look up Consumer Financial Protection Agency. Their job description is there. If they're not doing it, that's basically violating law, violating the oath they took. Those are ethical violations. You can file for ethical violations for violating the oath they took, and considering the fact they're not doing that and they're not working in the public interest, whose interest are they working for? If they're working in the interest of a political party, then they're working in the interest of the few, not the many. The Constitution requires that they do what's in the interest of the many, not the few, the public interest. Okay, that's how you have to think about this. What is public interest? Cornell Law School Community. So you can do your research, okay? What does public interest mean in law? What are examples? Public interest law. Primary interest to assist unrepresented people. Like people I was telling you, if you don't demand your rights, you don't demand these people do their job, they won't do it. You won't get you won't have you don't have a right to effective assistance counsel if you don't demand it. It's guaranteed in the 6th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, but if you don't demand effective assistance of counsel, you won't get it. Effective assistance of counsel is described in the Rules of Professional Conduct and Code of Judicial Conduct, legal obligations of all lawyers and judges in every court of law, whether it be state or federal. Failure to abide by the rules or codes are intentional and deliberate, which creates effective assistance of counsel. Any attempt to be effective assistance of counsel is defective and destructive assistance of counsel. They are there to assist you. And the only way you can see to it that they assist you in the legal manner that prescribed by the law is to read up and discuss this in court with your judge and the lawyers. Get it on the record. The rules in the courts. Make sure they play by the book. Nobody does. That's why what's happening to you is happening no matter what court you're in. Public interest lawyer. What is the idea of the public interest? Public interest, the welfare, well-being of the general public and society. Regulation in this context means the employment of legal instruments, laws, and rules for implementation of policy and objectives. Why do people go into public interest law? What is a synonym of public interest? Public interest can be replaced with several synonyms depending on the specific context: common and alternatives, general welfare, common good, public benefit, public welfare, and common interest for specific applications and terms for public policy, public service, and public utility might be more appropriate. Okay. What is the primary goal of the public interest group? What is the following best definition of acting in the public interest? Which of the following best definition of acting in the public interest? The correct answer is A. The phrase collective well-being of stakeholders is taken directly from the IESBA Code of Ethics and should therefore be identified as a key element of concept. Okay. The public interest and okay, what is another word at shared public interest? What is the legal definition of the public interest? Anything affecting the well-being, the rights, health, and finances of the public at large, most commonly advocating for those living in poverty. Or, okay. And you can check again with the public interest doctrine. What is the duty to act in the public interest? Public officials have an overarching obligation to act in the public interest. Okay, are you listening? Public officials an overarching obligation to act in the public interest. They must perform their official functions and duties and exercise any discretionary powers in ways that promote the public interest that is applicable to their official functions. Their official functions, which are described in the Constitution and the separation of powers, okay? Remember, the only constitutional crisis you're having is one branch of the government overstepping its boundaries, breaking the law. When our public officials break the law, they should be held to a higher standard, not to a standard that doesn't exist. Qualified immunity. What is a principle of public interest? Government regulation can improve markets, compensating on imperfect competition, unbalanced markets, missing markets, and undesirable markets. Okay, public interest. Public interest and generally refers to law-related work. Okay, so anyways, you get the idea, and this is law. Okay, everybody's supposed to be in government is supposed to be doing what's in the public interest, and all lawyers and judges are supposed to do in the public interest. Okay, so let's go, where is it? Right here. So the ABA Rules of Professional Conduct. Okay, American Bar Association Model Rules of Professional Conduct are a set of rules and commentaries on ethical and professional responsibilities of members of the legal profession in the United States. So when you look up your state version, some states have taken out rules, and they can't do that. That's against the law. Okay, specifically Rule 3.8. Some states have taken out. And they can't do that. It's not in the public interest. That's in the interest of the bar, which we'll get to that. Okay, model rules of professional conduct. Okay, preamble and scope. All lawyers, legal profession is representative of clients and officers of the legal system, and a public citizen having special responsibilities of quality of justice. Oh, okay, but I think it's down here. See, there's a lot of specific. They're not doing any of this. Okay, it says right here, 12. The legal profession relative autonomy carries it with special responsibilities of self-government. The profession has the responsibility to ensure that its regulations are conceived in the public interest, it not in furtherance of parochial or self-interest concerns of the bar. Every lawyer is responsible for observance of the rules of professional conduct. A lawyer should aid in securing their observance by other lawyers. Neglect of these responsibilities compromises the independence of the profession and the public interest which it serves. Now, these are legal obligations of all lawyers and judges, so no matter who the lawyer works for, their duty first and foremost is, as it says here, the public interest which it serves, we the people. So if they're working for them big-ass coal mining companies and, no matter who they work for, big tech, no law can be created that violates the public interest. Every law must be in the public interest, and this is how we maintain the public trust. And the legal system is part of the public trust. Okay, so I know if you're listening up to this point, you always hear, if you're listening to the news, no matter where it's Fox, CNN, internet news, mainstream media, every time you hear a legal analyst or a political pundit talk about the public interest, you have to understand this is what they're talking about, but they're not telling you. Okay, so I'm being very specific. Everything in the legal system must be in the public interest. Okay, what benefits the needs of the many, not the greed of the few. And if you read the basic obligations of public service, you'll find that it's illegal. What you think is legal, they call legal bribery when it comes to politics. You'll find out that's not true if you read the basic obligations of public service. It's on the net. Just look it up. I've already made a video on that. All right, thank you and good night. I just wanted to make it as quick as possible so that everybody in public service is required to do what's in the public interest and maintain the public trust. Hold them to the oath they took. Their constitutional oath is not just their constitutional oath to serve and protect the Constitution, your constitutional rights, the Bill of Rights, your birthrights, but it's also their constitutional duty. It's their legal obligation. That's a binding contract. Okay, remember, violating that, it's unethical. Those are also ethical violations, besides violating the oath, besides denying you due process. This not happening is what's called a conspiracy against rights under the color of law. Okay. I was talking to some people, I said, no matter where you turn, when it comes to the law, there's always conspiracy of rights against rights under the color of law. All right, and it's unconstitutional. It's called high treason. Look up high treason. It'll tell you. Look up high treason, it'll tell you. I don't have to tell you. I have already did a video on that as well. All right, thank you and good night. May the Creator rain many blessings. I wish you a long life and good health.